Hello everyone and welcome back to another Steel Division 2 video. Once more, one about the final battle mod, where you can find the link to down below if you want to test it out yourself. It is playable in multiplayer. You can play it against the AI as well. If you give them a deck, they can use them decently well on a similar level as the normal Steel Division 2 AI as well. And we already looked at the Germans and the Japanese. You can find a link to the videos down below. And now we're gonna have a look on the Soviets and the Yugoslavians. In the final video, we'll look at the Western Allies, including the Brazilians. So let's have a look here on the Soviets. And starting with the 5th Guard Tank Division. And this one is represented in its late 1945 formation, where it was transferred towards the east. And it also gets some really cool new equipment there that the Soviets just developed in that time period. The logistics tab, recon tab, pretty standard here. We have some mod Razvedka that can come in 50 cal half tracks in the classic BA-64B or in a Dushka Jeep. So good options there, or just a normal one coming around here. Only one card of these guys. Firepower obviously not that great, but yeah, normal recon squad there. Sniperi can come actually in the same options, so that's pretty cool for a Sniperi squad. BA-10M is around here as well, in A and B phase with solid availability. Razvedor as the strong combat unit can come in a half track, but not an armed one. Razvedor, smoke, and sniper rifle and a DPM here, so that's a good squad here. Smoke helping out quite a lot as well, and then Razvedka rocks as a flamethrower Razvedka unit with smoke as well, so that they can actually get in there. So interesting little unit here, recon unit, the Mosin Nagan's PPS 43, not the greatest combo, but does the job. And then we have a little T-80 here, T-80 Razvedka coming around, cool little cute tanky with APCR rounds with 1mm, 75mm minigun, 12 rounds per minute, solid little tanky. And you have the big brother with the T-34 Razvedka being a 1943 model, having 6 rounds per minute, but only 1750 meter range on that main gun. So decent availability in A and B, but only one card. T-80s, you get 2 cards off. Decent slots for a tank division in the recon tab, so that helps out. But the infantry one is pretty limited. And here you start with Galia 1945, and just like the Germans, the Soviets had a bit of a manpower issue in 1945. So squads here downsized to 6 men as well. You have double DPM. You have some Mosinagans and PPS. The double DPM obviously quite nice, but squad itself a bit struggling. 20 points is okay, but it's not that great. And then you have the Guardier RPD, which gets SKS. So this is where the cool stuff about the squad comes. But it's still a 6-man squad. It still it has a double light machine gun here with the RPDs as well. And then SKS rifles. So firepower for a 6-man squad is fantastic, but it's still a 6-man squad for 20 points. So it's not an amazing squad just based on its hit points, but the firepower is great. Double fire and the SKS semi-automatics here are a really nice combo. SKS, fantastic rifle obviously as well. A bit march to war here. This is, yeah, still pretty great. Saperi Komrodi coming around with SVT 40 and PPS H, but not really great fire combat power here. Brings Panzer 60s actually. And yeah, just good availability, normal 3-man leader. Tekadishaniki coming around, can come in A phase in half tracks, later on with a 50 cal, later on only in normal half tracks. Molotov 8-man squad, classic. Automachiki 9-man squad, classic. Can come in at half track, but not in an armed one, with the anti-tank rate and 9 PPSHs. Classic Saperis here as well. Well, SVT Saperis, but 10-man squad, 1 light machine gun, some PPSHs and TNT, with the classic availability. The SVTs are nice here. And then Guard Comrade 45, 6-man squad with a sniper rifle. That is always quite nice. 369 availability, and some parry rocks with SVTs, PPSHs, double DP28s, and a flamethrower. So this is a good combat squad as well. 12-man squad, double 5 SVTs and the DP28s is nice. DP28 with flamethrower doesn't go perfectly. Can't fire on the move, but this firepower is good in CQC. This firepower is good on the mid range. This is a solid squad. So I think you for sure want to take that. I guess you want to get these guys around as well, but you want to get as many men into this as possible. So this is the big question, because your slots are really kind of tough. Tab slots are actually also surprisingly tough, but you get some cool units here. You get your T-34, 85, 1944s. 3 cards of them if you want to. But then you get also the T-44A. And these come around with 180 frontal armor. So yeah, massive upgrade over the T-34. But a similar main gun. Actually the same gun. And similar performance there on this as well. 2000 meter range. 145mm pen. Only 1 DT. So you really pay for the armor and the extra speed. The T-44A is fast, so that is really helpful as well. The model is pretty solid as well. It's not the greatest in the mod. Like, it is pretty rudimentary, but it does the job. And yeah, the main gun here goes quite nicely. You get 6 cards, so you can just fill the deck with this. And you also get 1 card of the T-44 100 with the D10S 100mm gun. And that brings the bang. 220mm pen. So that one actually can do the damage. 5 rounds per minute. That's still pretty good for a gun with this amount of penetration. 10 damage, 40% accuracy. And it also gets a Dushka extra on top. And 10 frontal armor. But you only get 1 card here. And only in A-phase. So you can only bring 2 of these around. These are your unicorns here. Whilst the T-44A actually is your base tank, and they gonna roll over Japanese really easily, and can even compete with the other nations' 1945 formations in this mod pretty well. Support, SJ-43s, OB-25s, and combat, a bit empty, but it is what it is. And then in the anti-tank tab, we have CIS-2 guns. Those are always nice. And we get the big guns. We get the BS-3 100mm, which also have the 220mm pen. 7 rounds per minute in this configuration even, so this is quite helpful. And in this mod especially, as there are a lot of things that you want to kill with it. And then you get another SU-100 here with the D10S gun as well, helping you penetrate those big boys on the other side with the same performance on the main gun. And you get 3 cards of these, so you can get a lot of these guns around. It's just that here you get them with a lot less frontal armor, not the 190, but still 120 actually not terrible here. So the SU-100 goes pretty hard in this as well. Anti-air, you get gas trucks, and then a decent 37 and a decent 85mm anti-air gun. Pretty classic. Artillery, you get some 82mm mortars, some CIS-3 and F-22s, classic Katyushas, the 120mm mortar, and the really classic Su-76s coming around as well. And then you go into the air tab, and here you have a pretty interesting mix as well, but not all that high class. PE-2s coming around, then classic IL-10s with 250kg bombs. Yeah, so IL-10 follow-up of the IL-2 on a pretty much the same airframe, just slightly improved all around. Decent speed. P-40, not that decent speed and bad resilience, but a 500kg bomb, so that can be helpful if you want to use them. Max VAT, not the greatest availability there. Yak 9K, which in this mod are heavily outclassed, but they at least have a big 45mm gun. And yeah, the bad resilience, low speed. IL-10s with rockets, good speed. Yak 9 UT, This one is the good one here, with 123mm and 220mm and good speed. Still bad resilience, so this is your one good fighter here. 655, pretty good, but in this mod, obviously not the best. And then Isle Force with massive bomb load. And P2s with good bomb load. And P2s with decent anti-tank rockets. 10 anti-tank rockets is quite nice as well. So yeah, the air tap, you have to use the anti-air in combination with this to survive in this mod, I think, but it does an okay job. And yeah, it's about the T-44s and the anti-tank tab, really, for the most part. And then some fancy infantry units, but they are not all that special. So this is the 5th Guards. Let's go to the 9th Guards Mechanized Corps, which, yeah, 9th was equipped with Land-Lease Germans and American half-tracks. And yeah, coming in Romania. And we also get some big boys in this one as well. So a lot of Land-Lease stuff here. Valentine's. We get some half-tracks with an Su-57 M1 gun there. On the top, the 57mm Rashvedka coming around with SVTs as well. More Rashvedka SVTs coming around once more in the half-tracks, in the Dushka, in the BA-64. So that is pretty nice as well. Orsnat Siberi with bazooka and TNT. Can come into Dookie or the 4th GPA. Decent options there too. And the 4 PPS 43 actually decent for CQC as well. So with radio, TNT, and bazooka, this is a good squad. This is what you want out of a recon squad, I feel like. And yeah, the Valentines are quite nice against light vehicles. So in this mod, I feel like you mostly face heavier stuff. So yeah, for 1945 time period, it's a bit outclassed, but it still can do a decent job. Then we have bikes here with a DT as well, but no radio. Infantry, Guards Conradi with SVT, and yeah, going around here. Guardia 45 with the 6-man squad once more. Can come in half-tracks, but not in armed ones. And yeah, DPM here, Mosin Nagant going around. I feel like these should be have higher availability, but I'm not sure. Tank Edition Nikki can have in half-track and M2s. Automachiki could maybe even put them to 15 points. Like, but like just for in the mods like perspective, just to give the Soviets here the more numerous and decent quality infantry compared to the Germans. The Germans only get some expensive good units and then a lot of cheap bad units that will lose against the Guardias. But yeah, that's just an idea here. You get your normal Guardia with Mosin Nagants and TP-28s. Automachiki, yeah, classic loadout there as well with M2. Nothing special there. And then Oshnas Comrade with PPS, 43s and smoke. Sturmoviki with a DPM that can move and shoot. And PPSHs and TNT. So decent little squad as well for the CQC. And then we have Dejaniki with 3 DPMs, 4 PPSHs and 4 Muzunagans. So that is a nice variant of the Dejaniki here. 12, 18. Like, this is a great Dejaniki squad. Raider and Shock on top of that. And 3 DPMs give this an amazing firepower. So this is fantastic infantry. You take that card for sure. You then also get a Commando radio squad with the Ojanats, which has an even better loadout. As it gets SSTs instead of Mosin Nagants. It gets 1 more man. And it still has 3 DPMs. Which for some reason don't have the move and shoot shown up though. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So that are the same gun. Maybe it's just a... I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, TNT here going on as well. But in general, just a fantastic firepower squad. Super Rocks, we just already looked on before. This is a great flamer squad as well with 2 DP-28s and the SVTs. And then we have the Tank Edition Nikki IS, which come with double DPM and 10 PPS 43s. Once more, no move and shoot here. So Yeah, not quite sure why that is, but still great firepower on the short range, and 12-man squad here once more. So here you get the manpower in this. Just the Guardia 45 are a bit struggling, but as I said, I feel like that could be fixed. And they're not that bad anyway, double MG and so on. So yeah, great infantry loadout in this deck. You have a lot of high capability units and a lot of other stuff to fill the gaps. Tank tab, you get normal classic MCHR Shermans. You also get the MCHR 76 with the solid 76mm, good rate of fire, 130mm pen. Obviously somewhat outclassed in this mod, but at least you also get some heavy boys in all phases. IS-2 1943 and 1944, one card each, and an IS-2 Comrade, which is a 1943 model coming along as well. So good MCHRs with IS-2 mix, nice for a mechanized deck, and you get some heavy boys here to do the heavy boy fighting that this mod can bring around. Maxim SG-43, Gorno Dushka, and 76mm, only to combat as a leader, but that's fine. And some Studebaker trucks. Nothing super special there. Anti-tank tab has the SU-85 and the SU-100. SU-100 with the great 220mm pen, so you have something to really murder those heavy tanks. SU-85 struggles a bit more there, but obviously it's also a good bit cheaper and so on. And this is 2 solid gun, so this is 3 Vijot PTR with the 3 PTRDs, and you get a Panzerschreck squadron actually as well to move around. Anti-air, ZSU 17, you get the good 25mm, that is pretty reliable, and the 37mm, no long range A, pretty limited in slots as well. Artillery, you get some big M10 guns, you get some classic SU-76s, the mortars on the bike, the Katyushas coming along as well, and then CIS-3 F-22s with radio, and the classic leader, and the classic 82mm mortar. And then in the air tab, you have some classic Bostons in recon form, IL-2 classics as well, here with a lot less speed compared to the L-10, but yeah, 1 kilogram bombs, LA-5 as a fighter, fighter, especially in normal steel division, not so great here where it gets outclassed by a lot of stuff, but at least you get its bigger brother in the LA-7 as well, which gets medium resistance and goes a good bit faster. Firepower is still the same. And then later on, you can even get the LA-7 B20, which goes a bit slower again, but gets the third 20mm, which helps out a good bit as well. Can't take it with veterancy though, but the triple 20mm is good for killing power. LA-7 fighter bomber as well. IL-2 with anti-tank rockets and anti-tank guns, and then Boston bombers with 3 500kg bombs or 4 250, both good bomb loadouts. So once more, bit of an outclassed air tab compared to some of the other nations here, but for a Soviet air tab, this is still good. The LA-7 does a decent job, at least when on the defense, I would say here, and the triple 20mm for sure one to get some kills with. So that is quite nice. Infantry tab is fantastic. Tank tab and anti-tank tab solid. Rest does its job. So yeah, nice little Soviet 1945 deck as well. And yeah, nice cool mix there of units to represent what was going on there with them. Then we have another tank formation, the 12 Guards Tank Corps. And this one is having some fancy tools as well, which didn't really see active service, but are pretty nice to have. So yeah, VLA DTs, Mod Rajvetka with the classic transports we talked about. Same for the Sniperi. So not a great recon tab, but you have some no vehicle there. You get a couple of Polish forces here, including Dejant Sholgovi that ride on T-34-76 Rajvetka. So these actually come in on transport. T-30, you can put infantry units in these T-34-76s, which is fantastic. And just ride in on them. Pay 50 points for the T-34, 20 points for the Dejant Sholgovi. So tank riders here are a real thing. We will see more of them in the next division that we will get into. But yeah, you have one card of these coming in with 6 or 12 tanks and the same amount of infantry. Guardia 45 we talked about. Streltsy coming around normally with 1 DP, 3 PPSHs and some Mozins. 11-man squad. It's okay. For 20 points, it's pretty good. The Perry Comrade, classic 4-8 leader with 3 hit points. Guards Comrade, same thing with smoke. Still have a light AT weapon, so both fine options as well. Then Otomochiki, we talked about many times before. 9 PPSHs doing the job. Guardia with double DP28, Mozindangan PPSH, 9-man squad. Saperi with the SVTs here, TNT, that's a good squad as well. 25 points. The Sturmoviki with the DPM and armored. Oh, so these guys have an extra hit point per model. So these guys are actually hard to kill. Like, that's a 16 hit point unit. That is actually pretty dope. I missed that before. So, yeah, Sturmoviki are actually really, really tough to get rid of. Yeah, PPSHs and the DPM. So this is a 16-man squad with an 8-man squad firepower. That is good. So, for 25 points that is. Yeah, this is a nice squad then. And you get some leaders that are also disciplined with these Polish Oddzialu Kanego with SVT, PPSH, and TNT. And Guards Comrade with Mozinagant with Pew Scope for 30 points. Original Kani, Disheartened Penalty forces here. Going with these guys. 15-man squad, all SMGs. So you kind of want to use them with these guys together. Otherwise they just will run away. You get solid availability on these. And then, yeah, you just want to put that together and then they can do actually a good amount of work. Otherwise, they kind of can't. Superiority rocks with the good loadout that we have talked about a couple of times here now as well. Really nice loadout with the SVTs. And then Technical Edition Nikki IS, which can come in half-tracks again. And 12-man squad. And 10 PPSHs and some DPMs. So this is a nice squad for the firepower. 12 months for 30 points. Always nice with the double firepower here and a lot of CQC. And then we come to the tank tab, where we get a lot of T-34-85s, including the T-34-85E, which gets the same CIS-3 gun, gets the same speed. So, need to try to find the difference here. And it's actually... Oh yeah, it's only the side armor. So it's only the cages here. So it has more side and back armor. 5 more. So that's not really a big thing. It loses the tank rider trait because, yeah, it's hard to ride with the cages on. And yeah, that's why they're also the same price. Like tank rider for the 5 points. At 5 more side and rear armor. That's 5. Fine. Then we have IS-2 1943, 1944, and we have 1 card of C-Phase IS-3. And these guys have 265 front armor and a 200 penetration main gun, which is the same as on the IS-2 1944. So good main gun, low rate of fire, but it's better than on the 1943 with 4 rounds per minute. And the 265mm frontal armor is insane. Like, killing this thing is really, really tough. So, yeah, it's a nice little tank, but it only comes with C-Phase, and it's 0 vet, and only 2 per card. So, you have to be careful when you get them, but you can get these bad boys, and the model looks pretty okay as well. Obviously, would need a bit more polish, but in general, quite the solid one as well. Has a Dushka on top. And then we come to the tank tab, where we get B4 artillery pieces here in the support tab. That's what I meant. Yeah, with only 2000 meter range here. And like more being used as a direct fire gun, I guess. OT-34-85, a flamethrower T-34-85. That is quite cool as well. It still has the main gun, but has a heavy flamethrower capability as well. I don't think it's represented on the model. Only has the DT up here. But yeah, this is quite nice as well. Not sure if it could use the main gun as a flamethrower. Not quite sure how the OT-3485 worked. Having one is nice nonetheless, even if it's maybe not 100% the right model. But yeah, flamethrower there. OB-25, SG, and Maxim coming along as well. Anti-tank, you get the BS-3, you get one card of the SU-100 with the great penetration, so you can do something against big boys. SIS-2 and SU-85s doing great as well. And then we get good SIS-3 guns. And decent AA, 137 at 85. Maxims kind of don't matter. And then BR-5 280 millimeter. So these are the long range one. You get a normal B4 here as well. That is not a direct assault gun like the other one. And then you get Andriusha, big rockets, and Katyushas, and the classic S76, 120 millimeter, SIS-3, F-22, 82 millimeter mortar. And in the air, you get some good old PO2s, IL-2, M3 with 250 and 1 kilogram bomb, Yak-3 fighter with 625 mH, some 12 millimeter and some 20 millimeter, some IL-10 10s coming around again with good speed, good bomb load, great resilience, IL-2 M3 with the big rockets, but HE, the cluster IL-2 coming around as well, P63 A10, okay speed, medium resilience, has the 37mm, has 4 Brownings, so it's an okay fighter. 125 points. It's not the greatest, but it does an okay job. And you get assistance from some American B-17G flying fortresses coming along with surprisingly few 50 cal turrets. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. The American ones have a lot more. Or at least some of them have. But a lot of good bombs. 8 454 kilogram bombs. Decent speed. Flies high. Does drop a lot of bombs. And then some IL-10s with AT rockets coming along as well. So those are the 3 Soviet divisions. One with T-44s, one with IS-3, and one with a nice mechanized package and some good anti-tank guns and so on. So solid package there. Good representation of the new stuff to come. So I tried to get to the front line, or got to the front line. And then we have some Yugoslavian ones, and this is a lot cooler. We already saw the counterpart to it, which was the follow-up to Russisch basically, which already was a lot cooler. And this one here is so much cooler than the Nov that we have in base game from 1944, because this one actually is a good fighting force, and we have some really fun tools here. And starting in the recon tab, we get some recon units here in Fiats, in SBAs or Fiats with an MG. And all of these guys can come with 4 UDs as well. So decent firepower there. Sniperi can come in the same transports plus a motorcycle with Kakano sniper rifle, the classic Yugoslav snipers that we know from the base game with MP40s. Konjici Ichvadachi, classic squad here as well, 12-man recon squad with a Molotov and 2 ZPs. Great squad. 12 hit points, 25 points. This is fantastic. We get a Blindata in here as well. The autocannon car doing an okay job. It's just like in the base game. And we get an AC Mark II with the 6-pounder inside with 115mm of pan. So that is quite the nice vehicle here already. 50 frontal armor. Going fast and hard. And then in the infantry tab, we get some nice ones as well. Boys infantry with 50 points. The Gv Tankova. Partigiani with Beretta, Breda, Kakano, 11-man squad. Solid firepower and radar. Great availability as well here. 12, 24, 32. Decent at 1 vet as well. Veteransky getting all the good stuff. Plus some Ganomak, some German half-tracks stolen here. And they get some stolen MP44s and G43s on a 15-point squad. It's only 8 hit points, but this one has its solid firepower. Plus comes at 2 vet, so this is a great infantry squad. being like the best of the Partisanis, equipped with the best weapons they could get their hands on. Borgi, still a solid 20-man squad as well. 20-point, 11-man squad as well. The tank, 1 rifle, 9 carbines, or bolt action rifles, and 1 MP40. And then we have the Bulgarians helping them out, pushing through here, trying to come to their rescue, coming from B phase onward into C phase. Only can come in this little truck here, the Steyr, with the Zetki 383s, some Mannerlicher, and MG34s. Decent 10-man squad here. Proletary with the Piat coming along, can blow up tanks. MG34, 9, 18, 27. Nice Piat squad. Udarni with the Bren. Some Stan, like nice wild mix here as well. The OG Bomba here coming around with the Bombassi. The Bombassi, not with the special TNT here, but normal TNT. In the mod, that's a bit of a shame. But UD and 11 bolt action rifles have shock. Obviously not amazing for CQC, but 13 men are big, so that helps as well. Commandeer with the Piat, that is helpful. OSS leader with an 8-man squad that actually can fight, commando, smoke, radio. 3 availability, and carbines, UD, M42s, and Browning. That goes pretty well together as well. Then you get Proletary 45 with some more rifles and a Panzerfaust. So that is fine. Though Panzerfaust is actually a bit of a downgrade compared to a Piat. But 2 rifles instead of 1. A couple more SMGs. It's just, I'm not sure if it's worth the 5 extra points. I think the normal ones are better for 20 points versus 25. And then you have the SBS with 4 Bren guns, 3 carbines, 3 Thompsons. These guys shred on all ranges. 10 strength, 6 availability as well. So great infantry tank here, tab here for these guys. And it continues in the tank tab because this is where they get their tank riders. And their tank riders are coming in with T-34-85 1944 that they can bring around. Coming in B phase and C phase. And the infantry rides on top with 11 strength. And yeah, even more here for these guys. So these guys full on CQC squad. You get 3 cards of these, so you can bring a lot of T-34-85s here from B and C phase onward. And early on, you have a B phase Panther with 2 vet. You only get Stewards and S35 in A phase, so you have to be a bit careful there. But you get a lot of T-34s. You get the Bulgarians helping it out with Stuks and Panzer Force in their variants that we know from the base game, T4 and T3. So doing a decent job there as well. And yeah, the T-34-85s in these numbers with infantry, pretty cool as well. And then we continue in the support tab, where they get one of these anti-tank guns in the support tab with HE rounds and AP rounds. Power top is back as well, so the memes continue there. 45mm mortar, support gun, 2 MGs, Predator and MG42, and a commandant and some Studebaker anti-tank guns. You get some double Piat squads, some Panzer Shacks, the classic Italian 47mm. You get the Tito, which is a Pak 38 half-track here, which you can get 2 of with 2 at an A phase. Pak 38 and a Pak 40 card. So okay, but not great, but you get the tank tab here in this one round. You get this classic old AA piece. You get some classic Italian 20mm, not that great. Old 76 and Bulgarian 80mm AA piece here. That also has some AP shells, unlike this thing. Costs you 5 points more though. Artillery is not that amazing, but you get some old howitzers, no radio though. You get some Bulgarian 220mm off map, which is pretty big. You get the double mortar half track, which we have seen before, but only one. in A phase. So yeah, this is kind of what you want to need there, use there, and then you get 147, 49mm of map in form of Vickers Armstrong tanks. That's spot for you. They actually have an AP shell for this. 47mm. This is really 47mm. This looks way smaller, but yeah, a 50mm pen and a Vickers gun on this old Vickers Armstrong going along, giving you recon here with really low speed. And then in the air, we have a big wild mix as well, coming in with some Bulgarian P109s, some Bulgarian Do-17 Uragan Recon Mosquitoes from the South Africans, Bulgarian Davatin with 20mm and 7mm, Bulgarian bomber variants here with the B-71 and the Do-17, and then British 80 Hurricanes, South African bombers, British South African fighter bombers with the Spitfire here with bad resilience but good firepower, decent bombs, the Mark 5C drop from the Greeks coming around, good firepower but relatively bad speed and resilience here for this mod. Ventura with more bombs, Bowfighter and Bowfighter with fighters, so with 80 rockets. Not the best air tab compared to the others that we have seen here, but this is a great meme. This comes with great tank riders, the infantry tab is fantastic, and the rest is okay. So really, really cool implementation of the Yugoslavs, and yeah, so much more viable, and even a bit more interesting, I would say, than the base game one that we have. Like, North is a nice meme, but it's not really more than that, and that's a bit of a shame. And yep, let me know down below what you think about this mod and its implementation of the Soviets. I feel like they're a bit weaker than what we have on the other parts, but it's still pretty solid. And yeah, let me know down below what you would like to see for them as well, and maybe give some feedback on the mod as well. And yeah, there's also a Discord down below that is the World in Flames Discord, but it also has a section for this mod over there. So if you want to discuss the mod with the mod maker, give Choking some feedback, you can do that there as well. And yeah, with that said, see you all in the next one.